My name is Eliza. I was born in a small town by the sea, the kind of place where everyone knows everyone. My life was simple, quiet, and peaceful. But everything changed when I met Daniel. Daniel was not from our town. He came to visit during the summer. He was tall, had kind eyes, and the warmest smile I had ever seen. He was different. The moment I saw him, something inside me moved. I was only 16, but I knew it was love. Daniel stayed in the house next to mine. We saw each other every morning. At first, we didn't talk much, just a few smiles, a shy wave. But one day, it rained heavily. I was running home when I slipped on the wet road. Daniel rushed over and helped me up. "Are you okay?" he asked, worried. "Yes," I said, trying not to blush. "Thank you." From that day, we started talking. Then we started walking together every evening. We laughed. We shared dreams. I told him I wanted to be a teacher. He said he wanted to be a doctor. We made silly promises. We made serious ones too. One day, sitting under the old tree by the shore, he held my hand and said, "No matter where life takes us, I will always love you." And I believed him. Deep in my heart, I knew it was true love. But summer doesn't last forever. Daniel had to return to the city to study. He promised to write. I promised to wait. And we did write long letters filled with love and dreams. Every week, a new letter came, and I would reply the same day. Years passed. I became a teacher. He studied medicine. We were far, but our hearts were close. One day, his letters stopped. At first, I thought he was busy. Then I waited longer. A month passed. 2. No letter. No call. I was scared. Confused. I wrote again and again. No answer. I didn't know what to do. His family didn't live in town anymore. I had no way to reach him. My heart felt empty. I cried for days. Then months. But I never stopped believing in him. Something inside told me, this is not the end. 5 years passed. I was 23 now. Life went on, but the pain never left. I tried to move on. I even agreed to meet someone, a kind man named Henry. He was good, honest. He respected me. But every time he came close, my heart whispered Daniel's name. One evening, Henry and I were walking near the same old tree where Daniel once held my hand. The sea was calm, the sky painted with the colors of sunset. "Do you still love him?" Henry asked gently. I looked at him, my eyes wet. "Yes, I do." He nodded. "Then don't be with me out of pity. I want you to be truly happy." I respected him even more for that. I knew I had to be honest with myself. My heart still belonged to Daniel. Months later, I got a call from an unknown number. "Hello," I said. There was silence. Then a familiar voice. "Eliza." I dropped the phone. My hands shook. My heart raced. It was Daniel. He was alive. We spoke for hours that night. He told me everything. He had gone to a remote village to serve as a doctor after an earthquake. There was no network, no way to contact anyone. He wrote letters but had no way to send them. Then, he got into a serious accident and lost his memory for 2 years. When his memory came back, the first name he remembered was mine. He searched for me. It took months, but he never gave up. And now, he was back. He came to see me the next day. The moment I saw him standing at my door, I broke down. He held me like he never wanted to let go. "I'm sorry I disappeared," he said, tears in his eyes. "But I never stopped loving you." I touched his face and whispered, "True love never dies, Daniel. I knew you'd come back." We walked to the same old tree, sat down, hand in hand. No more promises, no more waiting, just love, pure and strong. But life had more to test us. Daniel and I sat under the old tree by the sea, the waves crashing softly in the background. It was the same place where we had made our first promises, and now, after all the years and pain, we were back together. In the following weeks, we spent every day rediscovering each other. He told me more about the years he had lost. After the accident, He had been unconscious for weeks. When he woke up, his memory was gone. The people around him cared, but he didn't know who they were. He said he often dreamed of the sea, of a girl with brown eyes and a soft smile, but he didn't know her name. That girl was me. It took him years to find me again. He had to search through towns, ask questions, look at old photos. When he finally remembered my name, he cried. And now, he was here, and I never wanted to let go of him again. One evening, we sat near the shore, watching the stars. He looked at me, holding my hand tightly. "Eliza," he said, "I want to make up for every moment we lost. Will you marry me?" My heart stopped for a second. Tears filled my eyes. I smiled and whispered, "Yes." The town celebrated our engagement. Everyone remembered how we were once young lovers. And now, our love story had returned like a miracle. Some even called it fate. I believed it was. We planned a small wedding near the sea, under the same tree. My students sang for us. The town's priest blessed our union. Daniel wore a white suit, and I wore a simple dress, the color of sunlight. When we said our vows, there wasn't a single dry eye in the crowd. "I loved you then," Daniel said, holding my hands. "I love you now, and I will love you forever." "True love never dies," I replied, my voice shaking. "It only grows stronger with time." After the wedding, we moved into a small cottage near the sea. Daniel opened a small clinic to help the people in our town. I continued to teach, but now, I taught with more joy, more hope. Our lives were simple, but they were full of love. Months passed. One rainy night, Daniel came home late from the clinic. He looked tired. I made him warm soup and held his hand while we sat by the fire. "There's something I need to tell you," he said slowly. I turned to him, concerned. "I've been feeling weak lately. I went to the city for tests, and the results came today." My heart froze. "I have a heart condition. Serious. The doctors say I may not have much time." I felt the ground slip beneath me. No, this couldn't happen. Not now. Not after everything we'd been through. But Daniel was calm. "I'm not afraid to die," he said softly, "because I've already lived the greatest love story. I found you again. That's more than most people get." I cried for hours that night, but he held me through every tear. In the days that followed, we didn't waste time being sad. We lived each day as if it were a gift. We watched sunrises, danced in the rain, cooked meals together, told stories, sang old songs. One day, he gave me a box filled with all the letters he had written during the time he was lost, letters he never got to send. "I wrote to you every time I missed you," he said, "even when I didn't know your name." Each letter was filled with love, pain, hope, and memories. I read them every night, even after he fell asleep. Then, one morning, I woke up to find Daniel sitting by the sea, watching the waves. "Come sit with me," he said, smiling. I sat beside him. The wind was soft, the sea calm. "If I don't wake up tomorrow," he said gently, "promise me something." I shook my head. "Don't talk like that. Promise me that you'll live, that you'll smile, that you'll tell our story." I held his hand tightly. "I promise." That night, he kissed me and said, "Good night, my love." The next morning, he didn't wake up. He passed peacefully, with a smile on his face. My heart broke into 1,000 pieces, but I remembered my promise. I lived. I smiled through tears, and I told our story. Years have passed since then. I still live in our cottage by the sea. The old tree still stands. Every morning, I sit under it and read his letters again. People come to hear our story. Some call it a fairy tale. Others call it destiny. But I just say, it was love. Real love. The kind that doesn't end. The kind that stays in your heart forever. Because even though Daniel is gone, his love lives on in me. True love never dies. I hope you enjoyed this story. Have you ever experienced? Share your stories with us in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories and adventures. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.